Yo, what's good, man? This is your boy at DFSMasterMind _ over on Twitter. Thank you for clicking on the video. Today's date is July the 17th. Man, we got 12 games, MLB. Y'all know what it is, man. It's Monday. Hopefully, y'all having a wonderful Monday, too. You know what I'm saying? We finna get it. Today's one of those days, man. The slate is it's a little weird. It's very strange. I'm doing nothing but GPP tonight. I'm a GPP player anyway, but I'm gonna take quite a few chances on some different tournament lineups. Just because I see tonight going a lot of different ways, man. It's not just clear cut out for you. And I wonder what other people are gonna do, man, because from how I'm looking at the slate, it should be a very fun night. I just got the update that Sanchez and Gardner are not in the lineup, and I had a Yankee sack with both of those guys in there, so I have to switch that out. And that's what that means. So I bet they got that probably a little Clint Frazier, because Hicks ain't back, right? Yep. Okay. But anyways, man, look, I'm gonna make this video really short and sweet. I should have put it out a while ago, man, but I just been grinding, man, paying attention to these money lines, you know, and the Vegas lines, man. Y'all need to get up on that. If you're not paying attention to it, I promise, I believe it'll help. It was the weekend, man. I had to work these doubles. Y'all know how that go. But we back, man. I'm gonna be posting videos throughout the week, my takes. So let's get into it, man. Lance McCullers is clearly the best pitching option on the slate as far as history, as far as you want to always have a stud arm. He's that guy that I bet a bunch of people will feel comfort in, and I think he's in a lane of his own tonight. I think his ownership percentage will be around like maybe 40, 49, 42. It could get up to 50, but I think the lowest for sure will be about 40, and that's the absolute lowest. I just think he's such a good pitcher that if you choose to fade him in a situation where there's already a lot of rocky pitchers, people where you don't feel as secure with, when you have one who also gives you a decent floor but could also potentially like double what the other pitchers do, I think you gotta go with them, man. You gotta put them in. I'm running 5 lineups tonight. Out of my 5, Lance McCullers is in 4. He's in 4 of them, man. So I'm taking a stand. Even though, you know, I'm a GPP player, I love trying to fade the chalk, so to say. But I don't think I'm doing it tonight, man. I'm gonna rock with him. So he's clearly my #1 pitcher. Other people that I wrote down, I think Marcus Stroman is in a decent situation, man. I know it sounds a little crazy, but I think he has a little potential for a decent game. The guy's ground ball rate is through the roof. He's a great ground ball pitcher. And I love Marcus Stroman's attitude, man. I know it sounds crazy, but you don't see him get shelled a ton because he's such a competitor. His K rate is very decent. And Boston, I know they're in Boston. Boston is a powerhouse, but we see them struggle sometimes, man. And we also see them strike out. quite a few times. So I think Stroman could actually get away with a decent game, even if he gives up a few runs, man, which I believe he will. But I think he can. I think he can get away with a very, very decent game, man. So I like him. I wrote down Wainwright. I wanted to talk about him a little bit. I think Zach Wheeler will be kind of popular. And I think the only reason I wrote Wainwright down is for this reason. Lance McCullers is going to be chalk. People are going to be looking for a value pitcher. So I think if you pay up for an overpriced Wainwright and he ends up with a decent game with the McCullers and Wainwright combo, I think it could have you sitting pretty, man. And that's the only reason I wrote him down. I'm not a huge fan. And the Vegas lines are actually like decreasing for him. Like the Mets run total is going up. And their run total is going down. So, take what you want from that. But I'm going to definitely have me a Wainwright and McCullers lineup out there. Who else? Julio Teheran, man. I think he's worth talking about. I do think John Lester will actually be kind of popular, man. The people that want to fade McCullers, they might go down to Lester, save a few dollars. And I just want to oppose that. I think Julio Teheran is a very decent pitcher. I know he's been struggling at home, and I know a ton of people won't touch him just because he's playing at home. So I think he makes for a very decent contrarian option for tonight, man. We know that his past 2 games, he's been shaking it. He's been feeling good. But so have the Cubbies, man. The Cubbies have been looking really good coming off the break, hitting a ton of home runs, and they're going into a good hitter's ballpark, man. Their run total is only at 5, though. That's not a crazy run total. It's not as high as I thought it would be, to be honest. So I think Julio Teheran might be okay, and I actually think Lester gets blown up, man. I'm not feeling Lester tonight. I actually like Atlanta bats, and I like Julio, man. I think they're in a decent spot. Last guy, man, and probably my favorite pick on pitcher tonight, besides McCullers. But my favorite combo, I got a lineup with a few of these. I got a few lineups with this pitching combo in there. That's going to be Matt Moore, man. Lance McCullers and Matt Moore. It makes for, I believe, what could be a beautiful night. Matt Moore is dirt cheap, man. He's 5'3". Aaron Judge costs more than Matt Moore, dude. So if I pay up for pitching and I get, or if I pay down for pitching and I get, we'll say 17 points from a Matt Moore tonight, which I think is very doable. I'm not just putting this out in fantasy land. Like, I think this is actually an option for tonight. I could see it happening. Cleveland has been struggling a little bit. Matt Moore at home has been very decent until his last couple starts. He's coming off a very bad game. I like taking pitchers coming off a bad game, man, because they always look to bounce back. I think Matt Moore is straight, man. I think we can see a 6 strikeout game, maybe go 7 innings, 6 innings. We'll just say 6, and give up 2 runs, man. As long as he's not walking a ton of batters, that would be a very decent night for us, man. And Matt Moore at that price, with Lance McCullers, who I see having a fantastic night, I'll be able to get whatever bats I want. And I just found out Sanchez is not playing, so I can, put that money somewhere else. I can, because I know in that lineup I had Sanchez. I wanted to pay up for catching. But anyways, man, I think he's in a decent spot, yo. I really do. And he's going to do it, man. Those are my top pitchers tonight. I just told you every pitcher I'm using. So yeah, that's what I'm rocking with tonight. That's what I'm rolling out. I know that was a lot of pitchers, but that's the type of night I feel like we're gonna have tonight. It's a strange night. So let's get into game stacks, man. Game stacks. I'm looking at Baltimore. I'm looking at Texas. Number one. I also think this will be the most chalky, just because it's such a high implied run total. People see it. They know about hitting in Arlington. I think it's a good spot though, man. Two below average pitchers. We can take advantage any side. You pick who you like. You can look at BVP if you want to. You can look at handiness. Find you a reason to pick a batter in this situation. I think you'll be okay with the outcome, man, as long as we hitting on the right bats. Now the next the next game stack I wanted to talk about is going to be Tampa Bay, versus the Athletics, man. I seen this, and what attracted me to this is the money line, man. Not the money line, the total line. It shot up on both sides, man. I'm talking like 0.7 and 0.6. It just almost a full point, man. When you get movement like that, I think it's for a reason. And I automatically try to get drawn into that and make these batters fit in my lineups, man. Even if I don't necessarily like it, whenever I see, just huge jumps like that, it's for a reason, man. And we got wind blowing out. We have two pitchers. Look, I gotta start off with Jake Odorizzi. And I understand different strokes for different folks, man. I understand that everybody in fantasy has their own reasoning for picking people. But in my opinion, Jake Odorizzi is not a good pitcher at all. I never liked him. I don't see why people talk about him so much. I don't think he's a good pitcher by any means, man. So, but I do understand different strokes for different folks, man, because I just suggested Matt Moore is one of my pitchers, and I can see why people are like, why would you pick Matt Moore? What's up, bro? Why are you telling us to take Matt Moore? But it's just the reasoning and my thought process and, how I look at things. And I understand that. That's what makes DFS, man. Somebody has to be wrong. And I don't like Jake Odorizzi at all, man. And I've been hearing quite a few, chirps about him, man. Even on my projected, props or whatnot, he was pretty high as far as pitching. I believe higher than he should have been at least. So I love this game as a game stack. Once I got that information, that the line shot up like that, we all over this. But I'm going to speed it up real quick, man. I said I was going to keep it short. Next, I like New York versus Minnesota. I think this is going to be a good game, man. Implied run totals both at 5.1. I think that makes for an awesome game stack. The last game stack I want to talk about is Detroit versus Kansas City. We have Detroit versus a lefty, and they also made a huge jump as far as totals. And then you got Kansas City, man. If you ever wanted to stack Kansas City, tonight is a night. Jordan Zimmerman is not that good. When you see Kansas City with an implied run total of 5.5, I think that means they're going to score some runs, man. You never see Kansas City ranked that high. But Jordan Zimmerman is trash, man. So I think we can attack that. Now, team stacks, I think Atlanta is a little sneaky. My favorite on tonight is Houston. And then, of course, Colorado, if you can get them. I think they're in a decent spot. I also like Miami, and I like Pittsburgh a little bit. I know Salter, people are going after this guy. I don't know too much about him. I'll be willing to bet on some of these Pirates bats before I, pay 6-2 and get him. But that's going to do it, man. Hopefully this video helped y'all. Let's get to the green line tonight, man. Cash out and bless up.